days for me today. Funnily enough, today is the last day of Summer Academy. This is 5 weeks of my summer holiday that I gave up to do this. And really, I would expect to be resentful in giving up. So this double lane thing you're doing, what does it mean? Yeah, I would expect that I would have been resentful in giving up my break. But in a very funny way, I have been blessed by this venture. I will take my time and I will share my thoughts on this particular one later. For now, let's dwell on where I want to take a lot of you. Amma, you were talking about entrepreneurship. Amma, you were talking about going into business. I don't know where to start from. The first question is what I have put on this video for you. Can you sell goods or provide services? And provide services may well be a middleman. Acting as a middleman is a provision of a service. It is. Can you sell goods or provide services? If option one is for you, sell goods, you can be the manufacturer of the goods that you sell, or you can sell other people goods. You know, you can sell other people goods. By doing that, you are actually providing a marketing service. So sometimes these things are interchangeable for some people because the thing itself may be one thing and the provision of it may fall in another one. Goods, for example. You can manufacture your goods and you can have your own goods sold, or you can just provide a service to connect a manufacturer and an audience. But if you can answer yes to that question, then we might be in with a chance of doing a business. Can we sell goods or provide a service? That's the baseline question. Does the good or service you deliver solve a problem? Does it solve a reasonable problem? Then you may do well. Does it solve a problem for a sizable number of people? You up the antiques. These are the questions you ask yourself. And yes, these are things that we normally do with paid clients that I've decided today I'm doing some here just for you. Can your good or service solve a problem for a large number of people? Then we come into the demographics of the people that you are serving. Can these people pay for the good or service? That's the key. That's the deal breaker, really, that a lot of people do not recognize. Can this group of people who need your good or service pay? And will they be convinced to do so? Can they pay? And will they be convinced to do so? Most of the people I want to work with are employed. You are in professions. You've got skills. You've got experiences that we can turn into the provision of service easily. I prefer to work with that demographic instead of young children, because young children could also start businesses. I do not target young children in my pursuit because young children often struggle to pay. So my ideal client is around about 25 years to about 55. That's my ideal clientele. Why are those people my ideal clientele? They need my service and they can pay for my service. They need my service and they can pay for my service. And that's where we start our conversations on getting you started as an entrepreneur. And yeah, if you joined the coaching academies with me 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of these things were manual. I've now been in the game for much longer. Now I am able to provide even more descripts, frameworks, templates, flowcharts, guidance to help you grow. Maybe you've seen content creators who are not able to monetize, and you can decide to find those. And there's quite a lot of African content creators who do not know how to do this. Those could be your base. It will not be my ideal positioning for you, because most of my African brothers and sisters expect charity. They need the service. It's not difficult to convince them that they need it. What is difficult is to get them to part with payment, especially to pay you fairly for what it is you are doing for them. Most of our people, most of my people like charity. They want you to do charity to them, for them, in order to run a business that they don't run as a charity. Their businesses are not charities, but they expect you and your provision of service to them and their businesses to be charitable based. So that may not be a good client to work with. When I say this, I think those of you who've been here a minute would know that when I started working in the social enterprise, my demographic was mainly my people from my community, because I know that we don't understand a lot of these things that other communities seem to know, and they explain. Even when we sign up to go into courses run by other people, the accent differences and so on sometimes make it very difficult for some of us. And we also do have learning preferences that do not often support the live teaching mode. That took me a long time to figure out. Most of us are not able to go into live classes alone and be able to meet our needs. We need recorded even after the live, and nobody else has time to provide you recordings after live. You either book for live or you book for recording. If you choose to go for a live class, well, you are getting the live provision and so on. And from a psychological, mental point of view, serving that community was something I was very passionate about. I wanted to do, but it didn't take me long to figure out that was not going to be a good business model for me, for some of the reasons I've just outlined to you. We don't want to pay. A lot of us don't recognize our needs, and even when we recognize our needs, we prefer the savior model. So people want you to come in as a savior and come save them from whatever problems they had, with no benefit to you. Reciprocity is something which is alien to this community. So this community is a difficult one to make your target. If you are going into entrepreneurship, if you are expecting a good turnover for your business, you might need to adjust your demographic. You might need to adjust your demographic. So my question to you this morning is, what good can you sell, or what service can you deliver? Who will use your good or your service? And how can you convince this person to use it? Will they be willing and capable of paying you your worth for the provision of the said service or good? You might need to do some work on your sales pitches in order to work towards getting people to see your value and recognize your value. And to give you your worth. If you are able to do so, then we have got a business that we can work with. That takes care of the first hurdle. The second hurdle, what are you going to use to run these businesses? You need systems. Good for you. I have got a whole complete system now. You actually don't need to buy this and hop anywhere anymore. You do not need to play hopscotch. You just need to get on one system and learn that one system and grow into that one system. People run empires on the system. You and your little business will probably use 5% of the capacity of this tool. 5%. When you get the tool, you need to use the tool, and then you will need to learn systems that you can use the tool to run. So you need a good tool and effective systems for things to work easily. And then it becomes a case of refine and improve as you go along. And yes, sadly, that is a continuous model. It's iterative. Anytime something looks like can be improved, you should improve it. If you can skill, you skill. And that, ladies and gentlemen, whose names I cannot see because of what the Facebook app does to me at the moment, I cannot see your names. If you've said anything, I cannot see your comments. If you haven't made a comment, say at least a hi and let me see if I might be lucky and that will pop and I would see. Normally when I see your names, I like to address you personally. But when it doesn't let me, what can I do? Anyway. Find out the good and service. Find who will buy, and as part of finding who will buy, you need to check that they can pay, that they need your good and service, that you solve a big problem for them, and your value positioning is accurate. And then once you know your niche, it is up to you to continue to find ways to reach more people in the niche and to scale. Find the people in your niche in order to scale your business, and periodically look for new ways to enhance even things that seem to be working well as you run your business. And that's it. That's the simple basics of running a business. There is nothing else to it. I know that's a simplistic version of it, but essentially that's it. For those of you who are starting and want to know, I'm a nurse, so let me give you a model. You are a nurse. You are very knowledgeable in health. Health and wellness is one of the biggest industries, and it is still forecast to be one of the most profitable industries for the foreseeable future. Most of us are becoming conscious of health and wellness. We are all realizing that you don't need to sit down and get diabetes before we start managing diabetes. Now there is enough research in the space to suggest that even type 2 diabetes can be reversed. It can be reversed. The question then becomes, what can you do to help those who want to prevent diabetes, hypertension, or reverse it? Or in the very least, manage it. There are many services you probably will not be able to make a good, because pharmaceuticals and its production are very tricky. Good for you, a lot of people have already got wonderful products that are on the market, and so you can then become one of those people who finds the best products and don't just throw the products onto the market. Wrap it around a delivery, a service delivery of you talking through people, helping people, maybe providing frameworks, guidance, maybe daily schedules, weekly schedules, stuff like that. give people information on the causes of the diseases, the science, basic simple explanation of the science of the management of this disease or its prevention. And you can decide to position this in so many ways. I am talking abstract, I know, but I think all of you who listen to me are clever enough to be able to hear these abstracts and maybe come and consult for a more detailed, personalized version. I remember telling a friend of mine quite a few years ago to explore a health and wellness space. And now she was like, you know, when you first brought this health and wellness space thing, I did not understand. Yeah, you can create a health and wellness space. Most people around my age need to be in health and wellness spaces. We need it. So you create your products and services, and then you start the value positioning with us. And you know, most of us are already paying prescriptions. A lot of people my age have been on prescription medication. Some of us approaching a decade. I was first put on statins almost a decade ago. My cholesterol levels became a problem more than a decade ago. For somebody who's been on statins, if you find me bioavailable versions of things that can replace statins without their side effects, I will bite your hand off. So that's your value positioning. Hey, I can help you use this to manage your cholesterol levels so that your hyperlipidemia can be managed and you can avoid symptoms. I will eat your eyeballs. I will become your lapdog. I will be. And the good thing about this is that it's also ongoing, so you can put your service on subscription. Most of these diseases, if you stop managing them, they spiral. So if you have a system which is good for managing them, the clients who will come on board will remain on board if they are smart. Well, it's also your job to tell them and let them understand that it's a long-term venture. When you get such clients on and your product or service is doing well for them, they are unlikely to leave you. And so it guarantees you your income to a very significant extent. It guarantees you their subscription. So those things are very, very useful for the subscription model. You know that each person pays $100 and you have 100 people in your ecosystem paying you $100. Well, we've hit 10,000. 100 people paying 100. We've hit 10,000 and you are good to go. 10,000 in most currencies will serve you well. 10,000 a month in most currencies will serve you very well. You'll be living above average in most cases. Or you might be a teacher like me. Just as people can create health spaces, you can create educational spaces, learning hubs. And you can put various tools in the learning hubs. You may put recorded courses. You may decide to do a hybrid between recorded and live courses. It's entirely up to you how you want to. But a lot of things are possible. You may not have been an educator normally, but you might be an accountant and you understand a lot of things about accounting. Well, all you need is to go and get some skills and get some information on how to create courses, and then you are ready to start creating courses for novices or experts to manage their money. Again, money management is also one of the big things around. Those who have a lot of money have to manage it. Those who don't have a lot of it have to manage it even more, to keep more of it in order to be able to learn how to keep and grow money. Yeah. Money management is a thing that is not too difficult to sell. Like I said, it's a common need. If you went into money management and it's education, when crypto came, some people started by teaching you how to do crypto, forex trading, whatever. Yeah, those are technical areas, but there are some people who are very smart who get in the early days to do the education section of it. Now AI, how to use AI. You can learn how to do some things with AI, or you can just learn some general things about AI and you can start. You don't need to have made an AI tool in order to be an AI entrepreneur, you know. You don't need to. You can provide a service using somebody's tool. You can be an affiliate marketer. You can find a great product and you can spotlight that great product and you can help people to use that wonderful product, and you can set up your systems around helping people to do so. You are providing a service and you are still a bona fide business person. You can make a lot of money. You can make an awful lot of money still with some of these models, even when you don't yourself make anything, produce anything. This morning, I hope that in my conversation, I am helping you to think and realize that majority of you who think and feel you can't do businesses might actually be able to do so. And the final thing I want to say before I arrive is this: you don't need intelligence. Intelligent people have already done things, they've already made things, and you can leverage what intelligent people already have. I don't know who this idiot is. In the middle of his road with a smoke in one hand and a phone in the other one. Two things they should not be doing. Doing it with impudence. You don't need intelligence to do this. You don't even need expertise. You can pick expertise, or you can even hop on somebody else's expertise as you go along. To do business, for me, the basic requirement is whether you are willing to delay gratification, whether you are willing to suffer inconvenience and sustain it for a period, whether you can deny yourself comfort. Because you see, most of the money that you are going to use to establish your business and scale your business could be money you could use to live. So for people like me, my salary could have been used to go on a holiday. And you can decide not to go on holiday. And you can decide now that you are going to use that period, that money, to do stuff. Like this thing I did this summer. A lot of the teachers I taught with were on summer holidays, willing to chill. I wanted this in my ecosystem to raise the extra funds. Why do I need to raise the extra funds? If I was just looking to do basic life, my salary would be fine. My salary can give me a good enough life. Simple. But I'm willing to delay the gratification. I'm willing to suffer. I'm willing to sit at night. I'm willing to try and learn systems that are alien to me. I am willing. That's the key thing. Are you willing to cry and keep going? Are you willing to fail and recover? Are you willing to sustain an iterative process? If your answer is to the affirmative, then you might be in with a good chance of this business thing. You don't have to be the most clever. Sometimes you need to be the most crazy, the most hungry. Yeah. Being the most crazy, being the most hungry, being the most determined. That's the requirement. Most determined. I know. Today, hopefully, I'm only here for a short period of time to come sign out and then go get ready for the madness that is my life. My life is so fast-paced. I should have had 1 week to sit in the house, to wind down. Not me. I've decided to use that 1 week to go and touch base with my people, the people that I would have spent these 6-8 weeks with. So let me go and get on with my day. Did I always hit your plans?